So we have 5 people on our team, did 43.8 million last year. We just surpassed $1 million in GCI last year for the first time. Don't be scared. I remember when I first started and I was calling expireds to get business, I would sort them highest price to lowest price. I closed a 3.6 million with the owner of my son's daycare when he was 2 years old. So we create through our service clients who then go on Facebook, scream our name. So instead of just tagging us, like they're writing paragraphs. I have clients texting me, hey, I think we're gonna win this one.
Okay, so can you give me the science behind it? Like what are you actually... Welcome back to Real Estate UnTucked podcast. Today we are jumping in with one of my very favorite people, Maryland's top producing agent and true leader in especially the luxury space, Lisa Kittleman. I am so glad you are here. You have taken, I want to talk about this too, you've taken your family built real estate business and you've transformed it into a high-performing machine, which is amazing. So earning top spot
with your help.
Among the top, 100 agents in Keller Williams International. Amazing. I love how the write-up says you're known as a calm leader, sharp, yada, yada. Like, yes. And that's how you come across, by the way. Just so you know, that's how you come across.
Really calm?
Yeah, I mean, on the outside, you got this taken care of, just so you know. We're going to talk about how you do that.
All right.
Yeah, but you are great and you are relentless. You're focused. You've mastered a lot, right? You've got really good at balancing a lot of parts of your life. And I want to talk about, what it takes to move into luxury, how you manage your team, what you've learned about team building, time, all that kind of stuff, some of the coaching principles that have stuck with you. Anyway, you've done a lot and you do not give yourself enough credit. You also play field hockey, which made me fall in love with you right off the bat. I was like, this is my person. And I'll never say this again, but field hockey is a lot harder than hockey. Just so you know, I'll never say it again.
You can only use one side of the stick, man.
I'll never say it again.
Than underwater hockey that we found out somebody has played before?
Wait,
it's a lot of running. It's a lot.
Yeah, go ahead, you're fine.
It's the most running. It's too much running. So yeah, I have no idea.
But you're running like in a squat.
Yes. No. Why? Let's just start there. Why did you choose field hockey? There are so many other sports.
Because I was horrible at basketball. So I tried basketball. I was horrible. Nobody taught me how to catch. Like, I still don't know how to catch a ball. I was so bad that when I got the ball, I would shoot at the wrong basket and miss. I was that bad.
Yeah. I feel like catching's like a natural thing, by the way. I mean,
it's
like
back
really
in
caveman.
No.
My
husband's give a little bit. I'm just
yeah, no, I'm only bad at catching and throwing. Everything else I'm great at. So it's just the catching and throwing that really gets me stuck. All right. So tell us, give us a little picture. What does your business look like right now? Kind of what size, structure, what does it kind of look like right now?
Yeah. So we have 5 people on our team, did 43.8 million last year. Average sales price is at 700,000. So we only did 66 units and that included some rentals there. So pretty nice unit to volume.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's great.
Yeah, we just surpassed $1 million in GCI last year for the first time. So that was very awesome.
For y'all.
That's awesome. So I want to chunk this into a couple things. So let's start first off with what would be the steps if you were teaching somebody to move into luxury. Let's say it's not day one, but they've been in business real estate for a minute. They want to move into that luxury market. What would be the steps or the things you would tell them to go do?
Oh my gosh, I was thinking about this before, and I think it's having the confidence. People are so scared and so nervous to do over $1 million, but that clientele is so much easier. They respect time. They want to hire a professional. It's a lot easier to work with them. So don't be scared. I remember when I first started and I was calling expireds to get business, I would sort them highest price to lowest price. And what I found is the highest price homes, they're not getting many calls because people are so scared of them.
Interesting.
So I think just going with that confidence.
Yeah. So what is considered luxury in your market? I mean, if your average is 700, is that the average in your market or is that your average because you're doing luxury?
That's our average because we're doing luxury. The average price in Howard County is it's still high. It's 500,000.
Okay. Would you agree or disagree with this statement? Because this is what I say all the time. So I need to know if I'm being right. I feel like you sell to your friend's price point, right?
Yeah.
So people that want to get into luxury when they're 22, I see it all the time. I'm in the business. I'm going to get into luxury. Damn near impossible. I feel like. Am I wrong on that? Are there ways that 22-year-olds can start niching into that somehow?
So yeah, I mean, but 22-year-olds in this market, they're not buying houses anyway. So your friends aren't going to be your clientele at 22. But I would preview, when I would preview, I would only preview high-end properties. And then I started creating relationships with the high-end listing agents They saw me constantly showing their properties. And then when you do have a conversation, you know the market of that luxury market. You're confident in it. You know the homes, you know what they're selling for, you know the updates. So you can have a much better conversation than when you're only showing, $250,000, $300,000 houses.
What
So
else
what I heard
goes?
you say is if you want to move into luxury, the first step would be increase your confidence. So first would be understand what's happening in the market. What else would you do to actually increase your confidence? Like preview the homes, understand the market. What else would you do?
Script. I mean, I don't like, I thought about what I did and really, I mean, I started at 23 and I just went in with this like ignorant confidence of it is what it is. I mean, to me, I would rather close 4 deals for $1 million than work 15 at 250,000. So work smarter, not harder. So I would say script, like be really good with your scripts, and your conversion has to be on point at that level because you don't have many at bats.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah. So get great at that. And if you don't have one of those, go to a town an hour away and ask someone like Lisa to let you follow her or learn, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
go learn one, stop winging it. Cause
Yeah.
like you said, you don't have that many opportunities. I love it. It's like, get to know the market, preview that market like crazy, practice your scripts, get great at that. And then kind of like to what Brad was saying is like, you get what you put out there, right? So if all my videos and posts are about $250,000 houses, I'm going to naturally pull that in, right? If all my videos and scripts or videos and posts stuff that about 1 million homes, I'm going to naturally pull it in. And I don't think you need to be, 48 living in that house. But I do think you need to niche down. I think you
Yeah.
need to be, hey, I am great at these homes. This is what I do. And you got to go hard. And that is when you're young and you try to be everything to everybody, it makes it even harder.
Yeah, totally. When you host open houses, don't go for the townhouse. Like create relationships with agents so they feel comfortable with you hosting their luxury open houses.
What else goes into the luxury agent perception? Because you can't just be rolling in luxury listings, but driving a 2000 Xterra and, tattered jeans, right? So like, what else did you have to do to maybe you're already like that. Maybe you always dress this nice and you've always
I just parked around the corner, Brad. I just parked really far away and walked up. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I just Uber black and tell them that's my driver.
Uber black to
Yeah.
everything. Be like, I'm just super busy.
So funny.
This is how I roll. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I would say, I mean, like, yes, I guess when you follow on Instagram and everything, then you have to know how luxury dresses. And I think some people try too hard to be in luxury, where like, to me, luxury is like a high-end casual. They don't try too hard. They have this confidence that they don't need to show it all off. So, I mean, my car is like a Ford Explorer. It has really nice black rim, but it's like not a special car. But I'm not wearing, like a tight suit. I go in the high-end luxury casual.
Do you feel like, because obviously I'm a broker, so I see agents all the time all across the country and they're doing really cool listing videos, right? And they're spending the extra money and there's like a helicopter pulling a sheet off the house and like fireworks for AI. But I feel like all that shit just goes for their sphere, right?
Yes.
Like what needs to be done to actually market $1 million property or a high-end property? And how do you get in front? Because you got to be in front of the people's people sometimes, Like, how do you change your lifestyle to do that?
It's a great question. Paying $54,000 for private school allows you to be involved
Amen.
in very high-end clientele.
Yeah.
Which honestly has helped me. Wayne knows I have gotten so many referrals from the moms group that we've created inside of the private school. I closed a $3.6 million with the owner of my son's daycare when he was 2 years old. So I think having these conversations with everyone, like enjoy your life, live your life. I've gotten 4 referrals from playing field hockey. So it's like you have permission to enjoy your life, just be purposeful with it. And that's what Wayne's really helped me in, is like, you're passing up on these conversations. Like when someone says, hey, how are you? Or how's the market? You don't say, it's good. How are you? You say, oh my gosh, my client was just able to go under contract, 11,000 less than the other offer because we have such great relationships with that listing agent. It's just so cool to see that like relationships matter. How are you? And so they walk away from that like feeling and remembering that instead of you just passing up conversations.
And that's like, we get in the podcast right now because like that's the shizzle. Like that is huge. If people just did that one thing, it would turn their business around, right? Like, oh, it's good, but like tell a short story and then also be where you are. And I think, Lisa, one of the things that I love that you did differently, a little while back was you stopped rushing in and out of places, or at least you got better at it. You know what I mean? So it's like you were at F45 or whatever it was. And it's like, cool. Hang out get there a little early, say hi to some people, stay a little late, stay high, check in with some people. Like that actually is your job, where you felt like, oh, I got to nail this thing and then get back to work, right? It's like, no, that's the thing. Just get better at like being a little intentional in those conversations. And that is such a simple, beautiful way. And by the way, if your F45 is in the ghetto, drive an extra 10 minutes and go to a nice one.
Are you sponsored by F45?
Right? Like,
Jesus.
Yes, I am. I got the tattoo. Yeah. Shout out to Betsy, who hurts me daily, right? But like, it's changed my life. But like, okay, whatever it is, go join F45. Here's my link. And I'm joking.
Yeah, literally.
But like, to your point,
it is so true, because I always had like a resting bitch face, and I would just like walk in. I'm like and you know what it is? I am so intense in like everything that I do, that like in field hockey, it's like I would go and like want to throw it from the work and then leave right away. And it's like, no, actually, let's like chat. Let's smile. Let's start with relationships. Let's ask how people are doing. And I'm enjoying it so much more and getting referrals. Going back to luxury, I think that the high-end clientele like a concierge service. Like when they travel, they probably go through a concierge. They probably have like concierge at their resort. So I think it's important that if you are going into that space, you provide that service. They understand that their time is money, and they're hiring you to not deal with the bullshit. So it's like you're taking the hits, you're saving them time, and you're presenting a very smooth process, and they want to pay for that. Like you're saving them so much time.
But also, like, it's not that much different, because like you said, the $200,000 client, and we'll probably get some hate mail on this, but like they will drive you crazy. Right? Like it may feel more luxury and bougie at a higher price point, but like you're doing the same amount of, like, you're actually probably doing less hours at the end of the day.
So much.
And by the way, if they want you to like set up the guys to come clean the pool, they're also going to be okay with paying for it, instead of the $150,000 client expecting you to go clean their pool, right? Like 100%. It's a totally different game.
Because the lower income, they don't try to save money, and they like step over dollars to save pennies, and they don't necessarily trust you. Whereas like the concierge is like, you do it all. Like, and it is so much easier when we have control over it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going back to one point, can you tell Brad how to get rid of resting bitch face? There are like a 4 steps, or just any suggestions?
Just like take it up a little bit. Yeah.
This is called being productive and tired. Oh, this is what happens when you're just fucking exhausted from everybody's bullshit.
Yeah. Whatever you want to call it. Yeah. No, we have to tell people we're friends. All right. Okay. So luxury. I love the strategies moving to luxury. Next, I want to go into, like, how are you generating business? And I think you talked a little bit, but like, I'd love to know the 2 or 3 ways you're generating business. And one of those is like you're having conversations, talking about, is there anything else that's working really, really well for you guys to generate business right now?
Facebook is huge. I'm sure you all have them too, but like the Howard County moms, like moms rule the world. They know everybody and they're amazing. And so we create through our service clients who then go on Facebook, scream our name. So instead of just tagging us, like they're writing paragraphs. I have clients texting me, hey, I think we're going to win this one. Like, let me know. We got this. And then they'll text people to come comment. And it's like this whole crazy, amazing thing. And then recently, like in the last week, we got 3 clients just because they searched on that Facebook Realtors and then saw all the posts.
Okay, so can you give me the science behind it? Like, what are you actually doing?
Fucking amazing. Do epic shit.
Yeah, there you go. Just be amazing. And yeah, absolutely. I just wake up and I piss excellence. That's just what happens. I put my pants on like anybody else. And then when they're on, right? But like, okay, so if you were going to teach me how to go do that, what would be some of the things? Like, hey, go in here daily and check this. Or is it what are some of the things you would do consistent? Not that you have to be doing everything perfect. Like, what would you tell somebody to do to kind of get going in that room?
It's going to sound, give a shit. Like,
yeah.
Like, you know what? Like so many agents just do the bare minimum and like don't follow up and don't check in and don't care and don't fight for their clients. Like, this is your job.
Okay. Like, but if I was going to get into science, it's like look for the groups that are active, get in there, see if anybody's asking questions about real estate, respond. Are you posting anything consistently? Are you asking your people to rave in there? Like anything
okay, that's true. When we
give me the sauce, give me the juice.
I guess it is all in scripts. Like when I do meet a client, I do tell them, hey, I understand I'm not going to make my success on you. I'm going to make my success on you being so insanely happy that you're shouting me on Facebook, you're referring me to your friends and family. That is a script that I use every single time. So you start that. And we also do handwritten letters, like for whenever we run a Facebook deal. hey, Lisa, I know it, you're super busy. I so appreciate you taking time. We won that. It matters so much to my business. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for your loyalty. So like letting them know that it's working. Cause I think
Yes.
sometimes people comment and they don't see the transaction on the back end. Like they don't know that their 5 minutes helped. So just reminding them, we send brownies.
Well,
I
so
love that. And I think here's the thing, just, and then I'll let Brad jump in, but we expect people to know what we want them to do,
Yes.
and they don't. And
Yeah.
then we expect them to remember to do it. It's our job to like skillfully go, hey, here's like just what you did, but that's our job to deliver that. And then it's our job to remind them. And then it's our job to say thank you. So like, I think that a lot of agents go, there's one of the biggest myths out there is if I just do a good job, it'll kind of take care of itself, which is kind of half true. Do a good job. Yes, karma, everything else is going to help out, but you do a good job. And then you add some strategic and whatever,
strategic,
some specific strategies to that, man, it's going to 10x. So I think the way you're talking about it is huge. Most people don't do that. And it's like, hey, here's the extra like 10 minutes. It's going to make a huge impact. You just do this consistently.
Yes, and I think like the reason why they want to shout us out is because they know that we care. Like we are constantly checking in on them. We're constantly celebrating their wins. We're writing them handwritten notes. You know what I mean? Like they feel like they are like my friend, like part of my family. Like I want to see them win. They want to see me win. But if you
But
don't
you're not
celebrate your people, why on
winging
earth
it.
would they celebrate you?
Yeah. And I think the key is you're not winging it.
Yeah.
And that's the magic.
So I want to go start a Facebook group for moms, not me, same with mom, but it's already saturated. There's already 5 different moms groups in my market. Would you recommend that I just do another one anyways? Join one, but oftentimes those are already owned by other real estate agents that aren't going to let you in. Like because I think that's some curveballs that could get people, because I do believe in the groups.
We don't own any of them. Well, we own one for Western Howard County. That just like provides information about the counties, restaurants, things like that. But we don't own any. What we do is like there are a few really good ones. So like for our clients that we know are going to be good referrals, at the end of the transaction, we invite them to join the group.
Okay.
And we're like, this is like an amazing group for Howard County because I know there's going to be questions asked in there. So we invite all of our people to the groups to make sure that our clients are in there. If they're not in there, how are they going to tag us?
That's really smart.
Yeah, that's great.
That's really smart.
A question. Wayne, do you have a question? I'm thinking through this.
I mean, I think I get passionate about this, but I think it's like choose one or two, do a good job. So like, don't go try to be part of 7,000 groups and then just spam them and then jump ship.
Yes.
Like actually, like what Lisa's great at doing is like there's strategy and there's intentionality, but it's also like within the bandwidth and it's your real people, right? So like you can get in there and have real conversations. I think that's kind of what people are missing is they either treat it too casual or they get so robotic that it's not real. So I think finding that place in the middle, I think is really, really great. Brad?
No, I was gonna say, I remember so we use the terminology, and I think this is why you're so brilliant at what you do. We call it shake the tree, right? So like somebody gives you a referral, they close, you call the referral person like, hey, thanks, Steve closed, but you keep going. Yeah. Right. So if that new referral refers you somebody, you go back 2 more steps. You got to have a CRM. But again, they're not going to know the newest referral that you're closing, but they're going to still be like, dang, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Like through you, I've closed 2 more deals. Thank you. And it keeps you top of mind. And I think it's one of those things that a lot of agents don't think about. And it's easy and free. And it just takes a little bit of thought. And it goes so much because people want to be thanked. They just do. And so if you can keep it. Yeah.
And one thing Wayne has helped me do is like leverage out a ton of other stuff so that I can be in person more and doing these like touches more because I was bogged down cleaning and laundry and all of that stuff. I couldn't do it. So Wayne, like I have somebody come to my house twice a week to do laundry, to clean the house, to pick up the kids' toys, to wash the bed, like all of that stuff. So then I can like focus on my people. And I think that's why in like 2 years, we went from like 27 to 44 million when the market was shifting. Like, so it's been fun to do what I love to do. I would much rather thank people and talk to people and convert leads than like wash and change my kids' freaking bug bed sheets.
And what was that emotional journey like? Like what helped you do that? Well, thank you. And like what piece of it though? Because I think a lot of times people like they're resistant to let go of that stuff. And it's not purely because they're worried about seeing an ROI. I think partially it's because it's like, well, this is my job. Isn't this what a good mom does? Isn't this what a good dad does? Like, did you go through any of that or was it simpler for you?
No, we had so many conversations about that. And I think it's also like you feel guilty. You're like, do I really have like a cleaner come into my house twice a week? Like, do I need
Yes.
that? Am I late? But I think like through you and like having these deep conversations, realize like my kids want me to play with them. Like, they don't want to see me stressed out when
Yes.
I get home from school trying to do laundry. And like, oh, give me a second, give me a second, give me a second. So now what I'm able to do is like work, focus all day. And then when they come home, I can be with them. And plus the ROI is like amazing.
Yeah.
And
I
you might
love
get
that so
referrals from
much.
you know what I mean? Like the
I love it.
contractor,
Yes.
I just did it. He's renovating my house. And I was like, Wyron, this is a lot of money. Who do you know? Like, he's like, oh my gosh, you know what? I know my cousin. I was like, perfect. Let's connect.
Yes.
Like, let's make this happen. So I think like just constantly reminding people, like, you help me, I help you. Like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Absolutely. Well, and you're providing opportunities for other people. Like, hey, this is what they do for a living.
Yes.
Like, and now they get to do this so they can take
Yes.
care of their family, and you get to do your thing, right? I just think it's so we've been really cheated with this thinking that leverage is bad, or leverage
Yeah.
is bougie, or like getting
Yeah.
help is wrong, or like if you're really great, you should be able to do every single. It's all these lies that we kind of have to confront. Then you have to get really clear, like, okay, if I do get 10 hours back, what exactly am I doing? And I think that's another big part of it. But it's been a beautiful journey. It's been so cool to see you have more joy and step more
Yeah.
into who you're being. And like you said, when you're there, it's like, I'm present. I'm not, yelling at everybody to fold their clothes, right? It's like,
Yes.
it's such a better experience. Yeah.
Yes. Totally.
So let's shift into you're running a team, right?
Mhm.
So how do you do it? What have you learned from it? What do you wish you would have done differently? Who do you want to fire? We can do it right now on air. If you have anybody you want to let go of, Sarah, listen up. Sarah, listen up. You're about to be gone.
Oh my gosh, what a loaded question. What I wish that I knew differently. I wish that this is a good one. And this is something that Wayne.
Damn it.
really
Enough
helped.
with Wayne. Wayne,
I know,
can you please turn
but
off your
no,
screen?
I literally
Jesus.
went, like, we gained like $20 million in 2 years. It was like, it's been totally a wild ride. But I was always trying to be a leader that I thought I had to be. I thought that like Keller Williams models was like, you do the 411 and the GPS and the da. And I tried so hard to be that person. And it was painful for me. It was painful for my team, and nobody was happy. And it's like stagnated us. Like, it sucked. So I came into who I was as a leader, and then I hired to that. Like, when we hired our last agent, I was so transparent with how our team works and my leadership style. And I was like, if this is not for you, that's perfect. Like, it's not for everyone, but just being honest
Yes.
about how our team works has been so helpful.
Yeah.
So people opt out, and I don't hire them based on stuff that's not attainable.
Well, dig
And then
deeper.
I
Like,
waste 3 months.
what did you find out about yourself as a leader that you didn't like? Like, I mean, like, that you're like, for me, I don't micromanage. I cannot hire somebody that I have to micromanage. Like, I know that. And me,
Yes.
even though they're cool and they do a lot of business, I can't do it. So what things like that do you think you've learned along the way? Or have you learned?
That I also learned that I am psycho on some things. Like, I have a few things that are totally like non-negotiables for me. And like, if you can't do them, like, we cannot be together. And they're small, but they're like very important to me. Like, response time. That's been a huge one. Like, if you cannot call a lead back in like 30 minutes, if you're not in an appointment, we're not going to be a fit. So I guess I learned like what my non-negotiables are.
Yeah. And once you figured those out, how did it affect your team? Did you see it gel better? Did you have sleep better? Like, how did you come about
I don't
that?
sleep. I just recently saw a therapist for this. She's like, that's painful to like live in your head like that. I was like, yeah, it is. Thanks for telling me that. But no, yeah, the team runs so much smoother. Like, and when there's a problem, like we just had a problem with response time, and I spoke to Wayne about it, it's like, I can call it out like that because I already said it 10,000 times. So it's not really a hard conversation anymore because it's so out in the open that it's easier for me to have the conversations. Whereas like hitting somebody, they're not expecting it. That's a really awkward conversation.
Yeah, it's not fair to them.
It's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. Like, to know thyself. And Brad and I did this at a retreat a couple of years ago. We talked about like the one most important skill that somebody can learn is like about themselves.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm good at. Here's what I'm not good at. Here's how I handle this. Here's how I don't handle this. Whatever. Like, know thyself and then get clear expectations, right? Like, here's how we're going to do this. Here's how we're like, man, it's such a game changer. And then, yes, we all need to grow and get better. And at the same time, like, here's who's a good fit to be in my world and here's who's not. And I think one of the big things is nobody has to be wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like they don't have to be wrong for not being a good fit to work with how you work, and you don't have to be wrong for not being a fit with them. Like that's okay. And I think a lot of times we take a step back and we want to diagnose like who was wrong because this didn't work out. It's like it doesn't always have to be that someone was
Yeah.
wrong. You just be like, this wasn't and like we said, sometimes I'm not at a place where I can dedicate 30 hours to hand holding somebody.
Yes.
I'm just not. So if somebody needs 30 hours of hand holding, love you. You might be a great person. I can't be who you need me to be. So that would make this wrong. And it just some of that awareness is huge. Yeah.
Yes.
So more on teams, Lisa, like you don't do the GPS and stuff like that. So how do you vet people to come on your team? Because I think so many people just collect team members like little widgets and they're actually not doing anything. So I'm just curious how you do that.
Yes. I don't hire a lot. And so the last hire came from a referral from my really, really, really amazing past client and a really good referral partner. He owns a car dealership. She worked with him in the past. So she was like, hey, look, I know how you run your business. I think she's going to be really good. Other than that, like I'm very slow to hire because the effort that goes into hiring in our relationship it's terrifying for me to ruin that. Howard County in Maryland is such a small community and we get almost all of our business from reputation, past clients, things like that. That's really scary to me. So I don't hire that much.
Do you handle the ops? Do you handle the training? Do you do all that or somebody on your team do that?
I do not. Yeah, Katie does.
Why don't you do it?
I'll do the training. Like I'll do when they shadow me.
Yeah.
That's what I have learned I'm very good at. I'm like, you can come with me. You can ride along with me. You can be in my office listening to me talk. I am not great at like coordinating out trainings. And so that's one thing I became clear on. I'm like, I will answer your questions. I will brainstorm with you. You can come on appointments with me. You can be on all my email chains. Like that's how I need you to learn is by like shadowing. So that's another thing I learned about me, which Liz is thriving in shadowing me.
Yeah.
But with the other training, that's Katie. And also learning like what to leverage out to Katie has been very helpful.
Which is great. I'm glad I didn't know the answer, but that's how teams should work, right? If you're not going to be if you're not good at the ops person, because so many people are good at rainmaking, they're good at attracting talent, but they're like, I'm going to train you. And now you're taking my time, energy, and money away from so that's something I think people need to realize is they don't have to be the Swiss Army knife of the team, right?
Yeah. And that was hard. I mean, that was like a hard thing to swallow because you have ego, right? You think that you can be everything to everyone and realizing the team is so much better if you're not has been really helpful.
Well, and I think what you just talked about is huge. Actually, it was interesting. I'll name drop. I was on my call with John Maxwell yesterday. And one of the things he was talking about was he's like, there's lots of different ways to train people. And he's like, here's the way that he goes, here's the way I do it that most people do. And there's other better different ways. But he goes like, I do it. Level 1. Level 2 is I do it and you're with me. Level 2 is you do it and I'm with you. Right. So like you just said, like Brad's so great at this. He still goes on listing appointments with agents and things like that, which is nobody does. It's awesome. Right. But he does it. Right. Then they are there while he's doing it. Then you're doing it. I'm with you. Right. To make sure you're good. Then you're doing it, which is great. And then level 5 is the magic level. Level 5 is you do it and someone is with you. Right. So level 5 is that's when that person becomes a multiplier, right? Because like you do it and someone is watching you. And one of the key things I just thought this was so interesting, just a distinction was not every person you develop is going to be a leader, and that's okay. So sometimes you might raise up somebody that's awesome and they may not be a great leader. They may be a great doer at that role and they're not necessarily a multiplier. That's okay. They can still be great in their role. But just because somebody got good at going on listing appointments doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a multiplier person that can teach other people else. And that's okay too. But I love that. And I think that we don't go through those steps. And I think that's why Brad's agents do so well is because he literally held their hand to do it. And that's what we need to do on the job training, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody's doing that anymore.
So I see you built you have a family business. This is always fun. And that's not uncommon. I mean, it's not.
Yeah. Well, it's uncommon for it to work, Brad. That's the difference. Okay. There's a lot of family businesses.
I didn't ask if it worked, but what do you wish people would know if they're thinking about starting a team and bringing their mom on as their TC or bringing their brother or whatever? Like, what are the main things that without getting kicked out of Thanksgiving lunch next year, like what do you wish people would know?
God, it's so hard because like family dynamics, like it really depends on that. Like my mom is my she is amazing. I have so much respect for her. The way that she was running the company, I have so much respect for her. Like we vibe, we have the same way of doing stuff. So I think if you like align in that, like what that gold star is, like what you guys are going to hold service wise, I think it's going to work. My stepdad was also in the company for a while. that did not work at all. You can ask him. It was horrible. And that was when I was like 20 something. And of course, when you're 20 something, your ego is so high and you're like, everything's black and white. And it was horrible. And so he left the company and got another job.
His
But
response
my mom,
time wasn't good, was it? His response time wasn't good, was it?
no, it wasn't. No, and his lead gen. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, that wasn't good of a 20 something year old to be telling their stepdad. Didn't go over well. But yeah, I think like my mom and I had just the same like philosophy. And so I think everything like around that worked together.
So it was good. So do it. Everybody should do a family business.
If you have a badass mom like me, yeah.
I love it.
She wasn't where I was like talking about like I'm out and about, you know, all the time, like talking to people. And she's like, yeah, it probably didn't work for me because I like being with my chickens and goats. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you can't be a loner in real estate.
So how did that, a lot of people have to transition that business. They take it over from their parents and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like, is
Just
there something you learned through that or you would recommend other people do? Or
hire
is it just
somebody,
yeah? Like
hire
what?
somebody that's a professional in that to help you walk you through it. And then we did a buyout where I like paid her a certain amount of money every single year for 5 years
Okay.
to transition it. But definitely not you guys agreeing on the terms. Having like a third party there to help facilitate was very helpful for us because then it wasn't as emotional for us. Yeah.
That's cool. That's great.
So good. All right. So on that topic, what are some of your negotiation hacks, tactics, superpowers? Like if you were going to teach a person to get good at 2 or 3 things, or what are 2 things you do while negotiating that work really, really well?
Yeah. Not be a dick and ask questions. Like if you're nice and you keep the conversation going, you can gain so much information from people in a great way, but you can't be a dick and you have to be nice and ask questions. Like, don't just take the first question, like just like you do with your clients, like go deeper into it, find the motivation, find their pain points, find what's going on. And people will tell you so much. It boggles my mind that they'll tell you like, what's their bottom line? And they say it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I
But
love
also like a big thing in negotiation is the relationships with other agents, which I think agents need to hear that 10,000 times that you have to be good to work with and you have to be known to get the deal done in a professional way with honesty. Because people will want to work with you. Like I just put a buyer under contract last week and the other offer was 11,000 higher. And he's like, look, I know you're going to get it done. Like it's going to be less headache for everyone. And I advise my clients like that. But if you have a bad relationship, people are going to run.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, and people, they do a short term, like, I think it's my job to beat up the other side.
Yes.
And then they don't realize how much it's going to hurt them in the end.
Yes.
And yeah, you got to fight for your clients, but there's ways to do that that are really great.
Yes.
Did you have like training around that? Were you just naturally badass at that? Like,
no training. Yeah. We have like a master certified negotiation experts class that we went through a lot. Funny enough, I met an agent in that class who refers me, like she's a Bethesda agent, specializes in their $1 million homes here for her clients in Howard County because she doesn't know the county. So that's another thing. Like you go to these trainings, you build these relationships, you like get so many great things.
Yeah, that's what Ginger, when she was on the podcast about a year ago, she would say like she would go close, but not in the same town for her CE, right? If she was in Raleigh, she'd go to Charlotte and then she'd be the only one there and it'd go well.
Smart.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you could wave kind of a magic wand or, you know, shake the snow globe or whatever cheesy other analogies you want to do, what does this year look like for you and how are you going to attack it that you haven't before? Because is 2026 going to be better, different, lower?
What a good question.
Do you hear that, Wayne? I had one.
Yeah.
I had a good question.
So I'm going to get back to the basics this year, which I'm very excited about. Last year, because it was a tough market. I mean, I don't know if people were so needy. They were so overwhelmed. They were so stressed out. It was hard. You worked a lot. And so I leveraged out a lot of like the client facing interactions once the deal was under contract. I'm going to get back to the basics. Our team has coordinated check-ins, like systematized check-ins that I'm going to do. Like, for example, today was a home inspection. I'm not going to the home inspection. Liz, who's an agent on my team, is going to go to the home inspection halfway through and check in. But there was a note for me to check in with the clients. Hey, Tom and Lynn, like home inspection day. Liz is going to swing by at 2:30 to check in, blah, blah, blah. I used to never do that stuff. Same thing for like designing consultations. Hey, Larry, how was your designing consultation today? So like it's Katie putting on my calendar the phone number, the question that I'm asking. So like in between appointments, I just text and the clients feel that love for me, which they didn't feel last year. Does that make sense?
That is so
I'm excited
good.
to be more like client facing, but like in a very easy way.
Yes. And so in 5 minutes, because you have a system behind it, instead of like, oh, I have to go on on everything, or I have to go. And we talked about it yesterday in the tribe call, like make the barrier to entry low.
Yeah.
Meaning, right, if your admin goes, hey, here's your 10 calls for today. Cool. I can get through those in a couple minutes. But if it's like, I got it, who's doing what, and look at the files and all, like, then what people do is they go back to default of I give great customer service, which means they're really crappy building systems, really crappy time management. And they are just a Pop-Tart realtor going popping up all over town all day long, getting nothing done. So I love that system. Like there's a way to take care of them. And if you do it intentionally, it gets really beautiful. Yeah.
Yes. And then like we also created like, this is so stupid, but like group text with the client, with Katie and I on the same group text, so that Katie's sending the information and I can just like heart a text or say, yay, congrats. You know what I mean? So like I'm involved more than I was last year, because before it was just Katie and the client communicating.
Are you an Android or an iPhone user?
Phone.
Okay, so good, because I was about to hang up. You can also.
I went on an Android date the other day, and I was just like, I don't think so. I don't like.
Well, it's because you can't check her text messages. You don't have.
How are we gonna do group text? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we can't even be friends at this point.
My point is, you can also clone your phone. So like my EA has a phone number. That's not mine, but my messages can go to her and she can respond back from my number, mainly with iPhone users. Like they're starting to get a little bit better. So I'll see text messages going out and I'm like, I didn't send that, but she's answering stuff on my behalf. So just throwing that out there too. Just
interesting. So you can't get any dirty texts because then your admin will see them.
Well, yes.
I
and my
fire
friends,
away.
Yeah.
Poor
I've had
Steely.
to.
Poor Steely. The things she knew what she was getting into. So she's Steely's tough. All right. Advice that you would give, would it be go back to the basics? What would be your 2 or 3 biggest pieces of advice to agents that are where you were 2 years ago? Like what would be the 2 or 3 things?
Like the biggest thing are those purposeful conversations.
Okay.
Say more.
Like, yeah, like show up, like find your hobbies, enjoy them, but just be purposeful about them. And like you helped me like script the conversation. So you don't have to think about, you know what I mean? Like, you know your story and you can just easily throw it in there.
Absolutely. Personal conversations, leverage out some things that you don't need to be doing so you can go do what you love to do and is most powerful.
Yeah.
And then I think that the third one was just get more intentional with how things are done. Intentional asking for referrals, intentional with how messages go and when you check, like, and usually for those intentions, it's a checklist, it's a reminder, it's some sort of system to make this happen. So, I mean, I think if everyone took those 3 things and really went into it, that'd be huge. And then the last one that I heard you say at the very beginning of the podcast was like, if you don't like what you're catching, change your bait. So if you're not catching $1 million homes, like you're probably putting out bait that's attracting whatever it is you're getting. So if you want to catch different, use different bait. I love your thoughts. Like go do the open house at the big house. Go preview the big houses. Do the videos about the big house, like whatever it is. And I think if somebody took those 3 things and adopted them with a just consistent, steady pace, man, how cool that what you can do.
Yeah, and find hobbies, with people with high income.
Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Besides F45, what are you most proud of?
What am I probably like this year, I was really able to like live authentically myself. And it's funny because a few clients said something, they're like, God, you seem so, what did they say? You seem so happy this year. And I'm like, I think instead of like burning out, like trying to be this leader that I wasn't, I showed up authentically and it just paid off in spades because people felt, the genuine loyalty and people want to be around people that are happy, not trying to be badass. Like,
Yeah, so good. Dude, that's awesome. That is amazing. All right, Brad, any last thoughts?
No, I think you shared very, very much. And I think you went through a big transformation. And I don't think we need to gum that up. I think that it's awesome when you put your mind to something and what it can look like. And it looks like you're living a lot of people's dreams right now as team leader. So congrats for that.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thanks.
You're amazing.
Thanks
Thank you for being here.
Hey, real quick, if you're liking this content, imagine having a full day immersed with people that are on this, like us, that are learning from each other.
Man, we do these kind of events, these intensive a couple times a year. And if you know that you are the smartest person in the room and you need to get in some other rooms, this is the place to be, right? So apply, send us a message right now. We'll send you the application link and see if you are the right fit to be in one of the rooms.